Welcome back. Today we have a very special guest. This girl has been in a meteoric rise in the last year and a half. She's from my office. Her name's Elliot Hunt, and she is man. Where do I start? Well, like she's now been nominated for an ORPY. ORPY? What is it?
Yeah, ORPY.
ORPY, right?
Yeah.
I was like, is it the ORPY, the SP, the ORPYs?
Yes.
I remember when you were at the class with Annie and Devin, the Crush the Call class.
Yeah.
When we first started like getting comfortable with calling, and I remember how that class, at least for me, it kind of like broke down this barrier that I had, this fear that I had of picking up the phone and calling. Ever since then, you have had so much success, and you have also kind of leaped forward in a lot of ways, and it's very, very incredible to see. I want to give you your flowers.
Thank you.
But today we have Elliot Hunt.
Thank you. No, I'm so excited to be here and do this. It's been a wild ride the past couple years for sure. So it's been crazy. And I remember that class too, because I think there was only like 3 or 4 of us in that class. It was a very small class. It was at 8 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
And I remember us meeting there and just being like, we had no idea what we were doing. We were just trying to find something to stick, something to work. So I feel like that was like a first class where it was like, okay, maybe I can try the calling and it really works. So it's just crazy to see like from, 3 years ago, that was around 3 years ago to now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is crazy to see. In that time, can you kind of dive a little bit deeper into some of those breakthroughs that you had along the way? And I guess what are the more important ones that have allowed you to get to the point where you're at now, where your business is flourishing? You have all these accolades that you're starting to attract, and you're also building something really incredible. Like, what are some of those maybe 2 or 3 things that happened that you can pinpoint as like, this was so important for me to leapfrog something?
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think it's important to kind of like go over the story and a little bit like what happened in the beginning because I think a lot more goes into it on like more of the emotional side than, the physical, like putting the work into it. So, yeah, I started, back in 2023. I was actually in the entertainment and like music industry before, so I worked with a lot of events, a lot of EDM events. I was doing like freelance marketing and stuff like that. So when COVID hit and, I had kind of gotten let go of a lot of the companies that were hiring me to do marketing because they weren't having events. Like everything kind of shut down. So at that point, it's like, okay, what's for me now? I feel like I'd kind of already hit like a threshold of like I can't go any farther. I can't make any more money. I can't do any more. Like I've already became like marketing directors and managers of all these companies. Like there's nothing really else for me because I started working full time when I was 20 years old in college. So it was like that kind of started for me very early on. So then when I got into real estate, I was like, okay, this is just something that I'm going to try. That's, I want to be an entrepreneur. I don't want to have a boss. Like the past boss experience for me was very rough. So that's why I was like, I don't want to deal with that ever again. My mom actually did real estate like way back in the day for like probably like a year or 2 years, but I was like, let me just try this. Like it sounds cool, but I mean, it's way harder than what I expected for sure. But yeah, in 2023, went into it, closed like barely any deals. By the end of 2023 and into 2024, I think I was down to like my last like $1,000 in my bank account and I had to move. So, moving is very expensive. So at that point I was like, okay, either I need to find something else that's going to work for me or I need to put my head down and work my ass off for this because I'm not going to be able to survive. Um, so I think that was like the biggest shift for me was saying like, okay, there's a pain in this. Like it's painful because I'm not making money because of the action that I'm not putting in. I was making just so many excuses for like things that I should have been doing and like being like, well, I'm just going to try this instead. I was putting my hands in too many buckets. So that was like the biggest pivotal moment for me in 2024 was like realizing like sink or swim. Like I'm either going to fail at this or I need to go full on into this and like actually take this seriously. So I would say that was my biggest like aha moment. And once I just focused on one thing instead of trying to do everything, that's when it was like it started to come so fast. Because I was trying to do the YouTube, I was trying to do the social media, I was doing the open houses, doing the cold calls, just trying to fit so much in, the 8, 9, 10-hour days that we have, and it just wasn't enough. So I think that was like the biggest moment for me that I was like,
What was the one thing?
I mean, I was broke.
Well, you said instead of doing all of these, doing YouTube, doing this, doing that, and instead you focused on one thing. What is
Right.
the one thing?
So I started doing expired calls. So that was really the biggest thing. Corinne kind of taught me everything that she knows. And she was like, do this for 3 months, like 90 days, see what happens from it. Like, you can do anything for 90 days. Like, this is not like going to be your whole life. Like, do this, see what happens. And literally within the first, I think, 10 days, I had already had like 1 or 2 listings. So it was crazy to see, like, okay, I can actually do this. I had so much doubt because the first year I did do the cold calling and, on the team and having to fight for leads and stuff like that. So it was like, oh, I can't do it. I can't do it. She was like, no, just do it exactly how I say. Don't try to reinvent the wheel and, see what happens. And yeah, I think I started in like February doing that, like end of February, early March. By the end of April, all in 1 week, I had 5 closings. So that obviously changed my entire life. Like, going from literally 0 closings to 5 in 1 week, like, that changed everything for me. I was like, if I can do that in less than 90 days, like, imagine if I can just keep going. And it's just grown to something so much more than just making the calls. Like, now I've been able to actually build a business, like, based on referrals and, like, a niche that I've found that I really like to do. So there's so much growth with it. I think that was my biggest thing is, like, I don't wanna be making calls my whole life, like, because when you stop the calls, your business stops.
Mhm.
So that was, like, I had never wanted to build a business on cold calling because that's just not me. I'm a very, like, people person. I like to be in person. I'm very creative. I love social media. I love making content, stuff like that. So I felt, like, kinda put in a box, but the calls have actually made me be able to expand into, like, my niche and be able to actually enjoy other things that I like doing because it gave me the opportunity to meet so many more people.
Mm.
So good.
I mean, picking up the phone is the quickest path to cash
Yeah.
in pretty much any industry, I think. So I guess like because you were calling, how long were you calling before that shift happened? Was it a year, year and a half with kind of no results? Like,
Yeah, it was like a year, like a little bit more than a year. I was pretty much calling, but it was like a different type of lead. It was like buyers and how they can be on the phone and it's kind of like you're fighting for business all the time. So it was about like I would say like a year and a couple months.
year and a couple months. And you said it's more like the breakthroughs you experienced were kind of more mental than the tactical of like what you actually need to do,
Yeah,
right?
100%.
Help me understand, I guess some of the limiting beliefs that you really had when you're in that before you made that shift. Because I think you're nominated for Rising Star Award, right? Everybody who becomes a rising star isn't born a star and just lives a life as a star. They
Yeah.
have a moment where it's either sink or swim. What were the thoughts that you had where you felt like maybe you were sinking to make sure that you didn't and instead you actually swam? What was I guess the breakthrough moment internally that
Yeah.
you had to actually make that shift?
Yeah, I think the limiting beliefs were just like, when you pick up the phone and somebody answers and they say no, you automatically your brain's like, "Oh, well, I can't do this. It's me." But that's just normal. Like, that's something that you just have to expect when you're calling random people is to get hung up on people, to be rude. You have to be, like, ruthless. So I think that was, like, a huge limiting belief because I was like, "Nobody wants to listen to me." I'm 24 years old, like, nobody cares about what I have to say. And that was, like, a big limiting belief was my age, honestly. And I think a lot of people do talk about that in real estate because I pick up the phone and people are like, "How old are you?" Like, "You sound so young," or, like, I meet people, it's like, "You look so young." Like, stuff like that was, like, a huge limiting belief. I was like, "I'm young and I'm not 35." Like, people think I don't know what I'm talking about. I think another big limiting belief was, "Oh, I'm not like Corinne," or, "I'm not like other people in the office that can do this. Like, I'm different. I can't do that. Like, that's their thing. It's not my thing." But I wasn't, like, actually fully being like, giving it a shot to
Mm.
actually make it work. Um, and then when it's like I would get an appointment from making a call, it was like, I can't actually do this. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
So I think those were like the biggest limiting beliefs. And it was also just like waking up in that moment and being like, I'm doing this to myself. Like I
Yeah.
realized like, okay, all these people are making all this money. They're so successful doing all this stuff. Like, why can't I do it too? So it was just more of like I was letting myself down because I didn't think that it was something that it was for me. But like I said, it's still not for me. I don't think it's specifically for everybody, but that's like the starting point to where you can really grow.
Yeah. So you mentioned that you saw other people having success and you just didn't give yourself the chance.
Yeah.
But you were still doing the work, right? You were still doing what you felt you were supposed to. You were still making calls, doing social media and all those different things, right?
The first year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So the shift was really you just started believing that, hey, maybe
Yeah.
this is me.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of things with calls too, like people, it's all your energy. Like if you start making calls and you're like, oh, I don't want anybody to answer. Like I just don't want to be here doing this. Like I'm just trying to hit a specific number of calls for the day. Like I just want to see that I made 100 calls and then I'm gonna, you know, be done.
Yep.
And I think that's kind of where my mindset was, where it's just like, I don't want to do this, so I'm just gonna say I did it because I did the 100 calls and then just
Yeah.
be done with it. So I think that was really the biggest thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, I genuinely think anybody can do it. It just takes the mindset to be like, okay, if I'm gonna be intentional about being here for 3 hours making calls, it's not gonna be fun. Like I know it's not gonna be fun.
Mm-hmm.
But let me just do it so that I can get it out of the way and actually like see results from it.
Yeah.
So
I know that you talk about mindset with specifically like running, and I think there's a parallel there between like maybe running, doing something strenuous, something that
mhm.
typically as humans we don't enjoy because it is hard, and making calls specifically with expired leads or people that have already been on the market and they've typically been either already burnt off by the market or they didn't have a great experience with
Mhm.
their previous agent. So we do encounter that resistance all the time. For me specifically, I have certain rituals that I do right before I call where if I don't do that, like you said, I'm going to be looking at this call as a chore, as
Yeah.
something that I have to do. And then what I get from it is completely different than what I get from it if I
100%.
take that little second.
Yeah.
What are some of the, I guess, rituals that you practice on a daily basis or when you know that you need to be centered or be in alignment with your energy so that you can actually have a good outcome with your calls?
Yeah, no, I love that. My morning routine is like so important to me because like I have to do stuff for me before I can like do things for other people. So, you know, I wake up at 5:30, I go to the gym, I come back, I do my manifestation journal, which I think is super important for me. And, you know, the affirmations and like the stuff that I've written in the journal has changed so much like over the past year, you know. I write down what I want to be. So at the beginning of last year, you know, when I started the new journey, I was like, I am a top listing agent. I am a top listing agent. You know, I set appointments for making these calls. Like those were the types of things that I was putting out into the universe. You know, showering, eating breakfast. I have to be listening to music. Like I'm the biggest music person. I live alone, so like I have to be listening to music all the time. Like I will literally be doing anything and music is playing. So it depends on what I'm feeling that day, but I have to listen to music, you know, kind of like de-stress a little bit and not just think about, okay, I have to make calls, I have to make calls. And I would say those are like my biggest rituals to like actually feel ready to be able to pour into other people. And I think the mindset with it is like, you know, you can't be so focused on, okay, if somebody picks up the phone or like this feels like a chore. I had to start thinking about it in a way of like, I genuinely just wanna, like, help people, and I'm just a curious person, like, wanting to know what's going on with this specific property, and that's what really helped me kind of jump over that leap, for
Mm.
sure.
Reframing.
Mhm.
Reframing is so important. I had a coach who used to tell me back in the day, he's like, there's three things you need to do before you make any calls. Number one, you need to believe that there's gold on the other side of that phone. Number two, you need to believe that there's gold out there and that you can find it. And number three, you have to believe that it'll be worth it.
Mm.
I love
And
that.
that's the framework that he would teach to like kind of reframe your thoughts before you actually do something. Because if you're calling and your effort and your intention is, I'm just doing this to check this off the list because, hey, let me, in some cases, you'll see people, they'll do things just to prove their mentor or coach wrong. Like, I did what you said I'm supposed to do. Look,
Yeah.
I made 100 calls. but you get a little bit rejection or you get a little pushback and it's like, I'm gonna let that one go, as opposed to challenging it and pressing forward and being more intentional of like, well, let me see if I can convert this. Because like reframing that's so important. And you called it rituals. Love that. Love
Yeah.
that.
And I think you can get like so complacent with calls too. Like that even happened to me at the beginning of this year because I was like, oh, I have this in the bag. Like I can do this. And then it's like you start to become a little complacent or like, oh, I have other deals going on. Like I don't need to make calls. So I definitely got in a bad headspace with that at the beginning of the year because I was like, okay, well, I've built my business. Like, I don't need to do this anymore. And I struggled at the beginning of the year. I'm gonna be completely honest because I was going through a lot personally. There's a lot of life changes. And like I said, when you stop making calls, your business kind of stops. So for me, that was like really tough at the beginning of this year because it does kind of like slap you in the face a little bit where it's like the universe is like, no, you still need to do this. You still need to have the mindset for it. And I think it's important to talk about too because it's not always going to be perfect when like you're making calls. It's going to wear you down. There's going to be weeks where you're not 100% into it. There's going to be weeks where there's going to be nobody that answers. There's going to be weeks where everybody answers. So it's like going through the motions of it. It's difficult to like keep that constant fire in you with making the calls because it is tiring. But at the end of the day, like you have to go back to the why and like I always look back to like the beginning of 2024 and be like, I don't want to do that again. So like I'm going to continue to do this so that I'm not in that same position again.
I love that. In terms of, I guess, some of the ongoing breakthroughs, because like you said, there's a dance that happens.
Yeah.
If you kind of stop dancing, your old self starts creeping
Oh,
back up.
100%.
When you're in the motion, in the flow, you're doing your rituals, you're having success with the calls, you're managing multiple listings, you're having the referrals. In that space of busyness, what are some of the breakthroughs, I guess, that you've experienced personally that let you know there's more than I can do, or like maybe broke a limiting belief that you thought you could only have a certain amount of listings at once or whatever?
Yeah.
Like what is that like, and can you help break it down so that somebody that may not think they can get to that point can see like, oh, there's a ladder that you can go up.
Right. And I think I thought that too. I was like, oh, I'm just going to have to make calls like the rest of my life. And you meet so many different types of people through doing this. I actually met one of my biggest clients through a cold call. I, sold him a house, sold his son a house. Now we do a bunch of flips together. So it's like that one call has brought me millions of dollars in deals just by picking up the phone that one time. So that was one thing that was like really stood out to me, that you can meet so many people. And that's how I ended up finding my niche. Like I found out I really do like helping people flip properties, and like I like the whole interior design and the work that goes into it, the buying and the selling side of it. So it's like there is such a ladder with it because you meet so many people. And one of my coaches told me, she was like, you don't find your niche finds you. So I think with meeting all of these people, I was able to figure out like, okay, I actually really do like this. Or, you have opportunities to make content with like specific listings that you have. Okay, I really like doing this. So I think you find yourself more when you're obviously in states of uncomfortability. And I think making calls, you're so uncomfortable all the time that you don't know what opportunities lie on the other end of the phone. So, obviously the more deals that you get to a point where you can have referrals and you have, like a big network of people. You have your VIP list, you have your, clients that are always going to be like, buying, selling, stuff like that. So it grows to be so much more. And that was my biggest thing, is like, I don't want to make calls my whole life. Like I'm not going to be that person that's going to be making calls for even 5 years, like in a row. Cause that's just not me. Like it's works, but it's not something that I really enjoy doing, to be completely honest. So, there's a light at the end of the tunnel because you will find like your niche. You'll find like things that you like to do more, and then you can put more energy into that. Like now I'm at a point where I want to put 100% into like my fix and flipping side of the business. And instead of having 30, 40 clients per year, I can have 4. And if they each do 10 deals, that's 40 deals, basically 80 if they all sell. So if I would rather work with 4 people that do that, then of course work with more people, work smarter, not harder. So I was able to figure that out by doing the calls. So it was a big breakthrough for me.
Dan Grieve actually said that was something that I kind of stuck with me the last time that we had him on. the last time that we had him on, which by the way, we gotta have that guy back to drop some more gems. He said that when you pray, move your feet, and he was talking about this. When he said it, I was like, oh yeah, I mean that kind of makes sense, but I see the parallel with what you're doing, right? Like when you pray or when you're asking the universe for something, moving your feet means do something, and you're calling. Even if you don't want to move your feet, you're calling and doing the thing.
Mhm.
And as you're praying for the thing and moving your feet, then the universe kind of like lets the thing that actually fits in your life and your personality
Yeah,
come to you. Um,
absolutely.
that's pretty incredible.
Thank you.
How would you, I guess, tell somebody that's in that position that you were at the beginning, where you don't even have the experience or the perspective that you have now? What would you say to that person so that they can actually take the steps with the prayers?
Right. I would say, yeah, you definitely have to believe in something. You have to believe in that it's gonna work out. You have to have like faith in yourself that you're gonna actually do it. But of course that comes with action. So I would say like the biggest thing, and this works in any business, like it doesn't just have to be real estate. I think when anybody's trying to start a business, especially in sales, like focus on one thing. Like I was just doing too much. Doing the YouTube that would take me like days to edit because we didn't really have like AI like we do now back in 2023. Like it's completely changed. So, you know, I was doing the YouTube, doing just everything. So I would say like focus on one thing. It's going to be rough in the beginning. Like it's going to take 6, 8, 12 months to build up, but it's going to be so much stronger because you stuck with it and it's actually something that you believe in versus trying to do everything. I think everybody has like their own thing in real estate, and that's why I love our office so much. There's just so many different people that do so many different things, and I've learned so much from everybody. But if you hear one thing that everybody says in the office is that they stuck to their thing that they've done, you know? And I think that's super, super important.
And you said YouTube. Rumor has it, Elliot Hunt YouTube is coming back.
Yes, I did post my first video back last week. It's definitely been like interesting getting back into because even when I was like younger, I was in that generation where like YouTube was super popular. So like I had all the before people were considered influencers, like I always wanted a YouTube channel. Like I would go behind my mom's back and like film like makeup routines when I was like 12 years old and be like, I want to post this on YouTube. She's like, you're not posting yourself on YouTube. Like,
Yeah.
there's no way. So it's just crazy, like, now being an adult, being like, I wanna have a YouTube channel. And one of my videos popped off, like, so well in 2023, and I look back and I'm like, if I would've stuck to that, who knows what would've happened now? Like, I can't have any regret with it because, I was in a position where, YouTube does take a little bit longer to build up. I needed to kind of do something that was quicker. But if I stuck with it, like, a year and a half later, who knows what would've happened? I've actually closed 2 deals just from that one video
Mhm.
on YouTube. So it's like,
How long did the one video take to make?
I think the video was like 10 minutes and it probably took me like 4 days to like shoot, edit, and post it. Like because I was just doing everything myself. So it was like shooting it and then like editing a long form video with like the B-roll and all that stuff. Like YouTube is complex with the editing. It's not like an Instagram like 10-second that takes me 10 minutes to put together.
Yeah.
So it was taking me like 4 days. So there was like a moment back in like August or September of 2023 that I was like, I'm gonna put everything into this. Like YouTube is gonna be it. And then I didn't see the results in 2 or 3 months and I was like, I'm gonna quit. And that's another thing that I learned is like you can't do that. Like it's just never gonna work out. So
Yeah.
I'm starting it back up now because I do actually I've always wanted to have a YouTube channel. It's fun for me. And now that I'm more comfortable on the camera, I'm not like this little like new real estate agent. Like I feel more comfortable on the camera. I know how to edit now. We have AI, so that helps so much with like scripting and stuff.
Mhm.
So yeah, I posted my first video last week.
Nice.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Thanks.
That's
We'll see.
big stuff.
I got a bunch of hate comments already. I'm like, oh my gosh.
That means you made
But
it.
that hate comments are good.
Come and say it's
At
the
least they
game.
watched it. Yeah, exactly.
Keep egging them on so they they
Yeah.
come back. I can relate to that YouTube thing because I also had one video about an island pop off, and
Really?
I literally stopped it right after
Yeah.
because it is that much work.
It's a lot.
It's a lot of work. And I also have this limiting belief of perfectionism. You know about this, where I have to completely let go of something so that it can actually live
Yeah.
and not just be in the vault. What would you say are some of the, I guess, breakthroughs that you've had with speaking or being public facing, through either calls or through doing things on your own, maybe some sort of coaching that you've engaged in, that are allowing you to have an easier time, teaching the classes that you're teaching, bringing in the people that you're bringing into the office, and being able to now not just succeed at what you're doing, but like now be able to bring other people and help them succeed as well.
Right. I think a lot of it comes with confidence. Like, I think in the beginning, you don't have any confidence. You're like, because I don't know what I'm doing. Like, it's hard in the beginning to have that confidence. So I think with time, you can build confidence over that you like actually know what you're talking about. But I hate to always like that I put myself in such a box of being like not confident. I've always been very scared of public speaking. Like, I've even had this conversation with you, and I remember us being in your office, you're like trying to teach me how to be like tonality on my videos and
I
stuff.
still have the video.
Yeah.
Subscribe. I'll send it to you.
That's got to stay in the vault.
How's that coming out?
But I think that was when like, no, that wasn't when I was doing YouTube, but I think I was like trying to do like social media and stuff, and you was trying to, teach me my tonality, but confidence. But like I was saying, I never wanted to public speak. Like, last year was like, I don't want to be on stages. I don't want to teach classes. Like, I'm good. It just makes me so nervous. Like, I literally feel like I have to throw up in the morning, like before I have to talk on something. And honestly, like this year, it's surprised me with like how much stuff I've been doing willingly. Like the first class that I did with you, that was like the first thing, and was so nervous. Like just that morning, just because I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to stand in front of a class of like 25, 30 people and like teach them, like, what if they think, you know, I'm bullshitting them or whatever. So that was like a big thing for me. I have a lot of self-doubt in my mind of like, you know, people are gonna think you're dumb or you're not gonna whatever. That's just like the limiting belief I have in my head. But with getting out of my comfort zone and like doing the master class that I did for real producers, doing the classes, doing the masterminds on Zoom has like made me realize like I'm so in my head about it. People want to hear what I have to say. And I think that really helped me figure out like, I can do this. Like, I can actually like talk about this type of stuff. And I mean, talking about yourself, I feel like is the easiest thing that you can do. Everybody loves to talk about themselves. Like, not saying that in a pretentious way, but
This is the person that you would know the best.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really just with experience, like putting myself out of my comfort zone with being like, okay, I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna set the date. I'm just gonna do it, not think about it until it comes up and just see how it goes. And as soon as I start talking, I feel like so much more at peace and so much more relaxed. So I think it just comes with literally just doing it, putting yourself out of your comfort zone.
And for the record, you were there for her class too.
I was there, and I could not tell that you were scared at all.
Really?
You were nervous or anything was going on, because again, like, because you're scared, but you're still doing it scared, which is part
Moving her feet.
right. You're
Yeah.
moving your feet. The moment that you do it, right, like that, there's a little space that opens up maybe 5-10 minutes in where you go like, oh, I'm doing this shit.
Yeah.
Like you kind of look inside and you're like, okay,
Yeah.
we got this.
Yeah.
And then you just kind of ride that momentum. That was pretty incredible to see. And I made sure to let you know, like, because I know for a fact when I did it, I would have wanted to hear somebody tell me,
Right.
like, hey, this was perfectly fine.
Yeah.
You killed it. So that was pretty impressive.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Very nerve-wracking,
It
especially the
is.
first time. Are you familiar with any of Tony Robbins' teaching? Anything like that?
Only the stuff that you tell me.
Oh, well,
So not
I'll tell
really
you something
but
else. So he says that there's two. Everybody has the same two fears. Every single person in the world. There's really only two fears that you have. Number one, that you're not enough, which is what it sounds like. The people who are afraid of public speaking, it's really that they're going to be judged and they're not going to be good enough. And that fear feeds into the second fear, which is, if I'm not good enough, I won't be loved. You are good enough.
Yeah.
You are loved. But you would never know that if you never moved your feet.
Right.
Yeah.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
It's like the confidence that comes with it as well too. Not even just specifically like public speaking, but just like the confidence that comes with doing something out of your comfort zone is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, it's insane. If I would have like told myself 3 years ago that like I would be in this spot right now, like for the award, speaking on stage, I would have been like, you're lying.
Yeah.
Like I actually like would not believe it. So it's crazy what can happen in like such a short amount of time.
So let's take this outside of business for a second.
Please.
Comfort zone, getting outside of your comfort zone. What's the most uncomfortable thing that you've done outside of your comfort zone in the last few years? Outside of business.
That is a tough one. I mean, the first thing that comes to my mind is moving here. So I did move here I don't have like any family here. I didn't know anybody here, and kind of just like took a chance at moving to somewhere. I mean, that wasn't like a couple years ago. It's been like almost 9 years at this point, but that's like, I feel like I would have been a different person if that didn't happen. Like my home life, and I mean, my parents are amazing. I had a great like childhood, but where I lived was horrible for me. Like I had a very rough school experience. So like getting out of that was life-changing for me. Like I feel like if I stayed in my hometown, like I don't know where I would be, honestly. Like I would probably be a completely different person.
Could I ask what was so bad about your school?
I was just a very bad kid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got
So
like,
you were the culprit.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Bad
just the
influence.
the people I was around were like very bad influences. I got like kicked out of school. Had to go to like one of those alternative schools with like the scary people.
You?
Yes. Like I was literally at school with people who like brought guns and like knives to school, and like I just got really drunk one time at a football game and I got kicked out of school because
Miami Elliott, dude, that guy.
I would have never
I would've
guessed.
never
I
guessed.
know, I tell
Yeah.
people that and like they're like, "What?"
Yeah.
But it was just like the people I was around were such like, I mean, people drink in high school. It's so normal.
Yeah.
Like, but it was the friends, because like everyone told on me. And that's like what like really wore me down. And then like when I went to the alternative school, and like that was an experience of its own. Like you couldn't have your nails done, you had to wear a uniform, you couldn't even have backpacks, like you were sitting in front of a computer all day, but that actually allowed me to graduate early. So I graduated a year early. So I graduated as a junior.
You wanted to get out of there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I like literally was like, I need to get out of here. Everyone like was just so mean to me, like bullying me about whatever happened. It was just like horrible. So I was able to graduate early, and then like technically my senior year, I just worked full time and then took like community college classes so I could like get money, get experience, and then like I was gone. But yeah, that was like probably the biggest life changing for
When
me.
did you move to Orlando?
2017.
How old were you?
I was 18.
Was this to go to UCF or was
It was, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I was like, hold on, you moved here at like 17 years old? How did you swing that?
No. I mean, I graduated when I was 17, but I didn't move until I was 18 because I like worked and then took like some community college classes. So,
Gotcha.
but it's like so crazy because I don't even really like think about that time. Like that's not me. Like I've lived a completely different life here, which has felt like so refreshing.
Yeah.
So
I think that there's something, at least for me, I can relate to that in terms of there's a version of you that was saving you in that moment. Like when you were going through that, there's a version of you that was kind of taking over and making sure that you were one gonna make it, and two, stay yourself. And typically when you try not to think about those times, because I do it all the time about my version of it, there's something in that, different therapies talk about like the childhood or the inner child. There's a version of that inner child that a lot of times holds the key to a lot of your limiting beliefs. And obviously, it's super tough, super uncomfortable to do all that work, dive back into a place where you literally wanted to escape and run away from. But once you do, at least I've personally found it that like something about myself kind of reconnects with me. And then now that allows me to connect with the person or the kid that I can see that in.
yeah, absolutely.
What is that for you? Like, what are some of the, I guess, things that you see in some other people now that make you remind you of that and allow you to now maybe help them with something or like be there for them, at least if you can't really help them through that?
That's a great question. Do you mean specifically like younger people or just anybody?
Anybody, because I know some older people that act.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, we all do.
Yeah, yeah. So I think it's agnostic of age. If you have this um, inner child trauma, it comes
Comes
up
out in ways.
in different
Yeah.
ways. The inner critic or whatever, like these are just versions of ourselves that just want to protect us.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they're holding us back.
100%.
So when you see that in somebody, like is your first, I guess, reaction to um open up to them or like try and help them out? Or is there a resonance there that you feel like maybe you want to not touch that?
Yeah. I think honestly I would definitely want to like help people more than not. Like if I see someone that I know has like a lot of potential and like we have a great friendship and whatever and they're like hanging around the wrong people, like I'll be completely honest. Like I'm a very honest and upfront type of person. So if I do see someone kind of heading down a different path, like I'm definitely that person to try to help in like the nicest way possible. I don't want to like shove it down somebody's throat. But yeah, I would definitely want to help people out. And I mean, I think with the childhood trauma and stuff, like we all wouldn't be where we were at without it. So like I'm so thankful for it too. And I think when people do bring up like past trauma and everything and how it affects their lives, it's so interesting to hear because like everybody went through a completely different experience. But I think that's like truly what it makes us who we are today. And like I said, I don't know where I would be if that didn't happen.
Mm.
So
Yeah, it's a superpower.
yeah.
Hmm.
What is the name of your YouTube channel?
It's called Orlando, Florida Living.
Mm.
So it's not my name.
Gotcha.
It works with like the SEO and stuff.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I think the future for me is I'm really focusing on like building my flipping business. Um, I'm like I said, I want to put all of my effort into one thing. I don't want to try to do a bunch of different things. And my YouTube is going to reflect that. So I'm going to have a lot of like flipping content and stuff
Love
on
that.
there. It'll be talking about like moving and relocating to Florida because I think those are like the biggest clients that are looking on YouTube. I mean, YouTube is like a Google search engine. So I'm still going to have those here and there. But I just filmed a video like at one of the flips that we're doing. And I kind of talk about like how much it was bought for, how much is putting into it, like the plans, and then like, how much my client is going to make at the end of the day. So I think those types of videos are really cool because I haven't really seen anything be done like that,
Yeah.
especially by a woman. Like I went on YouTube and I just searched like fix and flip houses. It is all men.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like they're just the investors that are making the videos. It's never like an agent that has a business that can offer all this stuff. So I'm like, how could this be like my mini HGTV, channel?
I got an idea.
Okay, tell me.
The Hunt with Elliot Hunt.
I love-
Oh, snap! Live on the show. Yeah. And then the hunt is to find the best flips.
Yeah. I love that.
You got a great name.
Yeah. The Hunt.
With Elliot Hunt.
Fun.
I'm gonna make that like a playlist on YouTube or something.
Mm-hmm.
Mine is called From Trash to Cash.
Ooh,
That's what I made it. Like the series name.
Trash to cash. I like that.
I like that. So Elliot, obviously the show is called The It Show, and it's built around the idea of independent thinkers and independent thinking. You can't be an independent thinker. You can't be on this show if you don't think for yourself. Can't let the robots think for you. So what is one thing that you believed maybe 5 years ago that you no longer believe today?
It's a great question. I think something that I believed 5 years ago, and I think everybody believes I wouldn't say young, but previous to where they're at now, everybody thinks, like what I do now defines my future. And I can believe that, and I can also not believe that. Because there can be, things that can define your future that you make the decisions for your future, but there also can be changes that you can make along the way. Like 5 years ago, I was not in real estate. I was in a completely different industry. I thought that was going to be like my path. I thought that that's what I was going to do the rest of my life. And I believed that I had gotten there for a specific reason. I'm in hospitality school. Like, this is for me. This is what I'm going to do. But if I continued that belief, I wouldn't be where I am today. So I think, you know, it's a lot deeper than just like the beliefs because there's so many things that can go into it. But yeah, I would say, you know, how you portray yourself 5 years ago is going to be completely different from how you portray yourself now. So I think don't put yourself in like such a box of being like, okay, this is who I am now, so this is who I'm going to be in a couple years. Like think big, like think the biggest of bigs because like even like I said a year ago, I was in a completely different spot than I am now. So each year has been so different. Like I know we were talking about this, but like the first year was learning. Last year was like producing, and this year is like a big year for growth for me. And like I didn't think all of this stuff was going to happen even 3 years ago. So I just don't want to put myself in a box. I have no idea what's going to happen in the next 5 years.
Yeah, I love that. So it's not Elliot Hunt, the realtor. Who is Elliot Hunt outside of real estate?
I'm just Elliot. I think honestly, and I say this to people, like being a realtor is like the least coolest thing about me. Like I think there's so much growth within real estate, and that's why I got into the industry because you don't have to be a realtor for the rest of your life. Like I eventually want to be my own like investor. Like I want to flip properties. You know, I want to have that financial freedom. I want to build an organization within the company, and that's who I'm gonna be in the future. But I think like outside of real estate, like I want to have, you know, my own life where I'm like traveling, you know, where I'm able to still have like the income on the side, the financial freedom. Like that's my goal. I really want to be like a coach and kind of have like an organization and a team. So I would say that's my biggest thing.
Beautiful.
And you're on the way there because she is nominated for the ORPYs. Rising Star. The voting thing is going to be in the description. So go ahead and give her a vote because she's going to win it this year.
Yes, you can vote every single day.
Every
So-
single day until when?
The end of August.
Till the end of August.
Yeah.
Set a reminder every day. Go
Every day.
and hit and vote for Elliot. Again, how can people find you, follow you, see all the things that you're doing?
Yes, so I'm very active on my Instagram. So my Instagram is Elliot Hunt Realtor. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Orlando, Florida Living, and that's where I'm gonna be the most active. So,
Hell yeah. Thanks for coming.
of course, thanks for having me. This was fun.